180!
Now the script's about to kick off, this party looks whack. Let's take it back to from scratch. I'm about to bloody this jack up, everybody get
I know I speak very good English.
cause my rhyme's on the rag.
Signor.
You'll be good at this job. 100.
It's okay for you, it's not good for me. Ready?
It would have to be Kirk Bevins, the countdown champion.
Me. Scott Giblin if we're talking general knowledge, or me if we're talking Mensa.
It's a tough one.
I'm going to go for Andrew Davis, one of the markers who marked up on the stage.
Dean Williams.
Close second is Dean Williams.
Without a doubt, Dean Williams.
Dean Williams.
Dean Williams.
I'd have to go with myself on that one.
And I will go with Dean Williams, the players marshal, brightest man I've ever met in my life.
Best dressed John McDonald.
Rod Stud.
It's definitely not Rod Stud.
Russ Bray. John McDonald.
I've always thought if my baggage ever gets lost on a plane, I would always like to share with Matthew Porter.
Best dressed, Kevin Painter probably.
John McDonald.
Paul Inks.
Scott Giblin.
Russ Bray.
We'll go with Scott Gibling.
Probably with my 80s hairstyle and 80s clothes, I'm going to have to go with me.
Probably Gary Wood. Shirts always untucked.
That definitely is Rod Stud.
Sorry, I can't disagree with George on that one.
Definitely Andrew the Slob Davis.
Russ Bray, the year that he bought a shiny blue suit from a suit shop here in Wolverhampton.
Sometimes some of Russ's suits do leave a lot to be desired.
Probably Rod Harrington, because we travel everywhere together. We've got a little thing going where when I drive, Rod sleeps. When Rod drives, he talks and I listen.
That's a tough one.
Scott Giblin.
I'm going to have to pass because I don't want to upset anyone, but it's Lawrence.
Best mate, well, John McDonald and Dave Allen, without a doubt.
It'll have to be my Cardiff mate, Mr. Dean Williams.
No comment.
Ladies man, there's not really too many ladies men on our firm because we're all happily married, so I wouldn't know.
For reasons that I can't go into in depth, Andrew Davis.
Well, that has to be Andrew Davis.
Dean Williams, maybe?
Dean Williams.
Me.
I'd have to go with our photographer, Mr. Lawrence Lustig.
I think probably Gary Wood.
Dean Williams.
Or possibly one of the other markers, Keith Bisbee.
Probably Russ Bray or Keith Bisbee, one of the markers.
I would say Bisbee, wouldn't you?
Keith Bisbee.
Yeah.
He's the one who he marks on the stage, got a bit of a board head and can see round corners.
Yeah. Oh dear, oh dear.
Biggest moaner, John McDonald.
John McDonald.
John McDonald.
Me.
Must be Andy Smith.
Cool, you'd have to go something to beat Scott Giblin, to be honest with you.
Scott Giblin.
I think Scott Giblin and Dean Williams have come pretty close.
Scott Giblin, one of our other markers, might be close on.
Andy Smith with Scott Gibling, one of the markers, a close second.
Scott Giblin. Scott Giblin, without a doubt.
Scott Giblin and Dean Williams. There's a tie there.
Andy Smith possibly. Scott Giblin if he's free.
Scott Giblin.
Possibly Ted Hankey.
I would say yeah, and I've also got to be honest with you, John Part's walk-on really does need changing.
Definitely Kirk Bevins, Aqua. But I think it's the best taste of music.
A.D. Lewis.
The best dancer, without any shadow of doubt, is Butch. He's on the security team.
Butch.
I'd say Dean Williams is a good karaoke man. His Crocodile Rock's brilliant.
If it's Venga Boys or Steps, me. Otherwise, I've not seen anyone else dance.
Best singer for me is Dean Williams.
Dean Williams.
Yeah, he is good at something.
Is he?
That would have to be Russ Bray, because a lot of people don't realise that Russ Bray was a chorist for the Westminster Boys Choir, and he actually was the real voice of the Snowman. It's not Aled Jones, it is actually Russ Bray.
I've got to say, I'll have a match with anybody.
Got to be Lawrence.
Lawrence again. I'd never go anywhere without him.
I think Lawrence Lustig, the photographer, you know,
Because you can pick him up and swing him round by his ankles and knock him out, you know. You know what I mean?
When we were in the match play in Blackpool and the officials told Andrew Davis he had to bring a dustbin on stage,
taking the bin on in Blackpool.
and in front of 3,000 people, Andrew Davis carried a big dustbin onto the stage.
180!